All right, welcome back. I hope you all had a great week. If you went back to school or if your kids went back to school this week, I hope it went well. I know it can be a stressful time. I hope you found a little time to study this week. If you're new to the channel, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. Today, we're going to cover our RBT task list terms and questions. Part F, professional conduct. F-4, maintain professional boundaries. This means dual relationships, conflicts of interest, and social media contacts. This is a big one because typically we get pretty close with some of our families, especially if you're working in home quite often with that family. You develop a good relationship with them, okay? So you want to make sure that relationship doesn't become more than just a professional work-client relationship. So that's what we're going to cover today. If you need our study materials, please check out our website, rbtexamreview.com, or our shop, gumroad.com/RBT exam review. We offer 2 practice exams, a full task list study guide, our combo pack, which comes with everything and flashcards, which is our best deal. And then, of course, our competency study guide for both your initial competency and your renewal. Questions or comments, please email me or leave them below. Happy to help. Keep working hard, keep studying hard, and let's get into it. Okay, F-4, maintaining professional boundaries. RBTs must maintain boundaries between personal and professional relationships at all times, meaning when you are with a client or when you get a client, that it is strictly a work relationship, okay? You're not there to make friends with the client's parents. You're not there to make friends with the client, okay? Now, that may seem a little harsh, okay, because you're saying, well, I need to be building rapport, right? I need a good relationship with them. Yes, you can be friendly with them. You can develop this strong connection and good relationship with them. That's going to lead to better outcomes for our clients. But what you can't do is go out for drinks with them, right? You can't go to the gym with them. You can't go to concerts with them. Okay. You can't see them off the clock. Those are what we consider dual relationships. Now it's personal instead of strictly professional. Okay. And it may seem harsh, but we need to ensure there's no conflicts of interest. Okay. There's nothing else going on that could jeopardize your services to that client. Okay. You have to remember that clients are clients. They're not your friends. If an RBT knows a client personally, they should not be part of that case. If your best friend's son gets diagnosed and then he's referred to your company, you should not be part of that case. Okay. You're too invested personally, and that can jeopardize, right, or influence how you're treating that case. Okay. You can refer them, sure, but you need to pass that case off to somebody else. RBTs should not accept gifts, meals, or other favors from clients. Okay. It goes hand in hand. Once you start accepting things, accepting meals, favors, money from clients, okay, now that's influencing what might happen in the future. If you have to come off the case, if you do something wrong on the case, if something happens, and the client wants to point back to the time they gave you all these gifts or these meals and things like that, that just becomes an issue, right? It also influences maybe how you treat the client because now you're more personal with them, okay? And maybe you aren't gonna implement extinction as well as you should because you sympathize now with the client crying and how it affects the parents because now you have a personal relationship, on and on, right? All hypotheticals, yes, okay? But it is the reality where relationships become very tricky, and it makes being an RBT in a professional relationship more difficult. So we want to avoid these situations as much as possible. Okay. So question, you work with the client from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m., 3 days a week. The client's mom offers to cook you lunch while you're at their house. How should you respond? Okay. So this is very familiar. I've been in this situation, okay, where you're working a daytime and they want to, or a night, and they want to cook you lunch, they want to cook you dinner, okay. It can get pretty awkward depending on the culture as well, where they expect you to eat with them, right? That's just culturally what they do to people in their home, right? So what do you do, right? How do you respond to this? A, accept the offer. You don't want to be rude. Well, you don't want to be rude, but you also can't accept that offer. Okay, 1, you're on the clock. Eating lunch is with the client is taking away time from the client. 2, now you're crossing the line, right, to a dual relationship. 3, there's possibly a conflict of interest down the line. Okay. You just can't accept meals. You can't eat with them. You can't accept these gifts. Okay. So A is wrong. B, politely decline. If she insists, refer to your supervisor. Yes, right. This is the obvious answer. Most ethics questions are pretty obvious, right? You politely decline. If they are insistent that you eat with them, talk to your supervisor. When in doubt, go to your supervisor. Okay. I did it when I was an RBT, right? And our client would order me pizza and then pizza, and it was very uncomfortable. So I had to talk to my supervisor, who in turn talked to the parent and explain to them why we cannot eat. Okay. So B looks like our best answer, but what do? We always read all of the answer choices. C, ask to come off the case and report the mom for unethical behavior. No, that's too strong, right? We don't want ethics answers that are too strong. Okay. Way too harsh, way too strong, way too dramatic. Okay. C is not it. D, avoid the mom every time you're in the client's house. Again, that's not possible. That's not right. You still need a relationship with them. You just need the appropriate relationship. So don't use F-4, right, as an excuse not to develop a relationship with the client. You still need rapport. You still need to be on good terms. The answer here is, if you're offered lunch, dinner, gifts, whatever, politely decline. They insist, refer to the supervisor. Okay, continuing again. Maintain boundaries between personal and professional relationships at all times. What is a dual relationship? Holding a personal and professional relationship at the same time. If you're friends and you work with that client, the dual relationship, right? If you're dating the client and working with the client, dual relationship. If you're going out out for drinks on the weekend with the client and you're working with the client, dual relationship. Okay, so now you're getting the idea. Okay. These dual relationships where we're not just RBTs on the case implementing behavior plans. Okay, we're doing all these extracurricular activities which influence our relationship with that client. This leads to what? Conflict of interest, engaging in activities that put yours or others' interest in conflict with the client's. Okay, the client's interest is our number one priority. When we start doing things that put our interest in the way of that client's interest, or putting our client's parents or whoever's interest in the way of that client's interest, now we're conflicting. Okay. And now you have ethical scenarios where you need to make a choice. Whose interest do you value more? You don't want to put yourself in that situation. Okay. Don't even get to the point where interests are conflicting. Our interest is the client's interest. The client's interest is the number one interest. Okay. Finally, don't interact with clients outside of work. Keep conversation with clients professional. This includes social media. Okay. Don't be friends with them on Facebook, on TikTok, on Instagram, on Snapchat, on any of those. Okay. We're not Facebook friends. We're not social media friends. We're not TikTok followers. Okay. Don't do it. Right. Once you are off a case, okay, and time has passed, then things change. Okay. We're talking F-4. We're talking you are on the case. Okay. We're talking you are an RBT on the case. Do not do it. Okay. Don't interact with them on social media. Don't post pictures on social media, okay, unless given permission, and there's a reason, okay? Avoid it. Social media, as we know, can be very harmful and dangerous in a lot of ways, okay? Just avoid it. Bottom line, boundaries, okay? If you keep boundaries, you avoid conflicts of interest, everything will go smoothly. Question, your client's parents are going away for the weekend. It's a last-minute trip, so they're scrambling to find a babysitter. When they tell you about the situation, you offer to babysit for them. They are thrilled and are going to pay you for your service. Is this appropriate? Okay, also not too uncommon, right? You, especially if you've been working a long time, they can trust you. They know you're going to do a good job with their kid. So they want a babysitter and they want you to babysit. Okay, what's wrong with that, right? So what do we just go over? Okay, especially you're offered to babysit, which is just a big no-no. Okay, so is this appropriate? Well, you should know the answer, right? But let's go over it. A, yes, you can provide RBT services during babysitting. That may be true. Okay, now if the situation called for you to go work as an RBT on the weekend and a guardian was there, okay, and you were working in an RBT capacity, that's acceptable. Off the clock, different pay, going babysit, not so much, okay? That is crossing a line. It's a different relationship, okay? Potential conflicts of interest. What if something happens while you're babysitting, okay? Then there's a whole nother world, right? So A is wrong. B, no, your relationship is no longer strictly professional and work related. Yeah, that's the most obvious one, right? You know, we're now crossing the line. That should be obvious by now. C, yes, you can see the client whenever you want after work. No, okay, we need to not see the client after work. Okay, if you're now friends with that client, you should come off that case. You can continue your friendship, but you just can't be working on the case. And then D, not enough information to determine. No, we have plenty of information, right? So I hope F4 makes sense. It's an important one. It's a big one. I think it's one of the most common ethical scenarios that come up, okay, just because of the nature of our job. So you want to be sure, right, that at all times you're maintaining strong boundaries, that you're avoiding conflicts of interest, and you're avoiding social media contacts. So that wraps it up. Again, thank you. Please like and subscribe. If you're looking for study materials, rbtexamreview.com. 2 practice exams, our full task list study guide, and our combo pack, which comes with everything, and flashcards, plus our competency study guide, both the initial and the renewal. Check those out. Questions, comments, please leave them below. Keep studying hard, and I will see you soon.